Joining us now is Okpe, with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinex.
You know I didn't feel the same.
The other day I saw you from a distance. Now you are here live.
I missed you so much.
How was your trip?
It was okay. It was just okay.
You will be properly debriefed later.
Absolutely.
Do you want to get a room?
Go ahead.
You know my challenge. And I pleaded with you.
He forgot.
And yes.
He forgot.
And yes, Dr.
You know I always make excuses for him.
Yes,
How are you? I missed you.
Welcome back,
Thank you.
So good to see you. You're a sight for sore eyes, as usual. Great to see you.
We are chatting today.
Yes, meet me in my office.
I'm meeting you at your office.
Your Akoko is on another level.
Well, you know this is what I do for a living. Well, all right. I missed you too, viewers. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United States, it was a big day for Nigeria under sports as 25-year-old Tobiloba Amosun made history on Sunday night to become the first Nigerian to win a gold medal at a world championship. Amosun broke the world record in the women's 100-meter hurdles after running an astonishing 12.12 seconds in the semi-final event and a wind-assisted 12.06 seconds to win the gold medal at the World Athletics Championships in Eugene, Oregon. While 26-year-old S.A. Brume took home the silver medal in the women's long jump event after she leapt a distance of 7.02 meters. Then, Red Bull's Max Verstappen won the French Grand Prix on Sunday and took a giant step towards a second Formula One title after Ferrari's Charles Leclerc crashed out while leading. Seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton finished second for Mercedes in his 300th Grand Prix. The victory is Verstappen's 7th in 12 races this season and the 27th of his career. In Canada, Pope Francis arrived the country for a historic visit on Sunday to apologize to indigenous peoples for abuses by missionaries at residential schools, a key step in the Catholic Church's efforts to reconcile with native communities while helping them heal from generations of trauma. He was received by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the country's first Indigenous Governor General, Mary Simon. In Nigeria, the country's vice president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, on Sunday shared a photograph of himself at the Duchess International Hospital where he underwent surgery for a recurrent pain in his leg. The 65-year-old vice president, in a message posted on his social media handles, thanked the medical personnel for their efforts in conducting the successful surgery and also expressed his appreciation to Nigerians for their messages and prayers over his health. In Italy, climate protesters were tackled by security officials on Sunday after attempting a glue stint with Renaissance artist Botticelli's Primavera masterpiece in protest at the Uffizi Gallery. The protest follows a spate of stunts involving famous artworks across Europe, including at London's National Gallery.
No woman, no cry.
Finally, under entertainment, Marvel Studios over the weekend released the official teaser trailer for the highly anticipated blockbuster sequel, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. The trailer opens with a rendition of Bob Marley's classic, No Woman, No Cry, featuring Nigerian Afrobeat singer Temilade Okpe, popularly known as Tems. The movie follows Queen Ramonda, portrayed by Angela Bassett, and the kingdom's heroes as they fight to protect Wakanda from intervening world powers in the wake of the death of King T'Challa, formerly portrayed by Chadwick Boseman, who passed away at the age of 43 in 2020 after a 4-year battle with cancer. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is set for release on November 11th.
Have I not given everything? And when I wake up,
Ado Aleru, you know I cannot wait to watch this movie.
Neither can I. It's going to be
absolutely amazing. Yeah. Congratulations to Thames for her feature on that amazing score with Bob Marley's classic. And also, I wanted to just congratulate our Nigerian athletes as well, Brume and Tobilola Amusha. Nigeria is doing well, except for some of the sad stories that we're experiencing lately. You know, really sad.
Truly, you started off your show today with Black Excellence.
Black Excellence.
I think we're going to take a different turn now, aren't we?
We are. Well, let's begin what's trending. Many Nigerians have reacted with outrage to the viral video showing terrorists who attacked the Abuja-Kaduna train on March 28th, flogging some of the victims they abducted during the attack. In the video, one of the terrorists vowed to kill the victims and sell them off as slaves, and also threatened to abduct President Muhammadu Buhari and the governor of Kaduna State, Nasiru El-Rufai, if their demands are not met by the federal government.
Amma gwamnatin Najeriya saboda rashin kula ta hana ƴan uwanmu su karɓo a dalilin haka muke kira ga manyan ƙasashen duniya irin su Ingila, su Amerika, su Faransa da sauran international community su Saudi Arabia da su shigo wannan al'amuran su ga cewa an samu maslaha saboda mutanen nan a gaskiya a niyyarsu ma ba su so mu kwana sati ɗaya ba kwana 7 a biya musu bukatunsu don su sake mu amma gwamnatin Najeriya ta yi biris da wannan al'amari ta nuna ba ruwanta a dalilin haka muke ƙara kira ga manyan ƙasashen duniya irin su Faransa da Saudiya da Saudi Arabia da Ingila da America da su taimaka da other international communities su United Nations su ECOWAS su OAU da su shigo su taimake mu don su ga an samu maslaha mun koma ga iyalanmu.
Wato farko dai zan yi kira ne zuwa ga wannan shegiyar gwamnati, wato gwamnatin Buhari, kasashiyar gwamnati, wanda ta sha cika baki akan cewar tana ganin za ta gama da addinin Allah. Wallahi bata isa ba. Buhari ka sani da kai da mataimakinka da sauran wato irin kai irin su Faransuwa Holan da sauran wato shugabannin iskanci na duniya, shugabannin kasashen duniya waɗanda ku kuka rike su a matsayin shugabanni. Wallahi ba ku isa ba. Addinin Allah ya riga da ya tashi kenan. Wallahi ba ku isa ku gama da addinin Allah ba. Kuma Allah ya tayar da addininsa wai ku don kofar da shi. Wallahi ba ku isa ba. Saboda haka mu bayi ne na Allah kuma addinin Allah muka ce za mu yi. Saboda haka mu muna da tabbacin wallahi Allah zai taimake mu akan ku. Wallahi mu hadafin mu ku sani ba wai Najeriya bane kawai, duniya muka sa a gaba. Kada ku ga cewa kamar wai mun yi wannan aikin kawai ya tada muku hankali. Wallahi daga cikin ayyukan da muka sa a gaban mu wannan bai kai ma komi ba. Saboda haka mu kuma muna dogaro ne da Allah subhanahu wataala. Saboda haka duk wani abun da ku kuke gani za ku tanade shi a matsayin mene za ku yi fada da addinin Allah, wallahi ku tanade shi. Mu saboda haka mun rike Allah subhanahu wataala kuma Allah ne ya gaya mana ko ba haka bane akan cewar zai taimake mu. Saboda haka mu na Allah muke yi ko mun yarda da Allah subhanahu wataala duk abin da Allah ya ce zai yi mana ko ba haka ba. Saboda haka muna da tabbaci akan cewar Allah zai yi mana. Kuma wallahi in dai kaskanci ne wannan kasa musamman ta Najeriya wallahi yanzu ne ma ta fara shiga kaskanci. Dan saboda haka ko ba haka bane ba ku sani kamar yande wato mai bayani na farko ya muku bayani. Insha Allah ba wai waɗannan ne kawai muke da burin ko baka mu zo mu zaunar da su a wannan wuri ba. Da kai Buharin kanka da kuma waye ne shi wanda yake da suna ‘yan Rufa'i da ma sauran senatocinku.
Well, I'll take a tweet from Mortala who wrote, 118 days, new video shows abductors flogging passengers abducted on board Abuja-Kaduna train on March 28th. 43 passengers remain in captivity. The train was owned and operated by the Nigerian government. This will also be a part of the legacies of President Muhammadu Buhari. Well, I know that you guys had discussed this. I wanted to take some tweets if we had another one. But in another development, Ado Aleru, a suspected terrorist who was recently turbaned at Sarkin Fulani in Zamfara State on Sunday during an interview, said that he was encouraged by family members to accept the chieftaincy title. Aleru was turbaned on July 16th by Aliyu Marafala, the suspended emir of Yatodo, causing outrage on social media after the police revealed that he was on its wanted list over his alleged involvement in banditry. In 2019, Aleru was declared wanted for masterminding an attack on a local government in Zamfara, which led to the death of over 52 people. The police placed a 5 million naira bounty on his head after the attack. The governor of Katsina State, Aminu Masari, says terrorists recruited by Aleru are still killing, kidnapping, raping residents of Katsina State in villages that border Zamfara. Aleru has denied taking part in any attack linked to him. I mean, this is what's happening in Nigeria. We are rewarding terrorists. I mean, he has denied claims. Other reports are saying that he, actually said that he kills people and not kidnaps people. I mean, there are so many stories that comes with this horrific incident that happened in Zamfara State where they turbaned this man who the police says is on their wanted list. But I know that you guys had discussed the abduction, the video, the flogging video that was circulating on social media all weekend. I was horrified, mortified. This needs to be resolved. Tundu Abiola.
Yeah, Oji, you're right. We talked about it in an earlier segment of the show. But and I'm going to link that video and what was said in that video. Yes. That terrorist was talking about God, and this is what God wants. And that's exactly what makes this problem so intractable. And that's what, I'm sorry, makes a lot of de-radicalization programs complete mirages. And to link it to this turbanning by this emir, what that suggests to me is that this emir is sympathetic to the cause of this alleged terrorist.
Yes.
Also possibly because these are his own ways of interpreting Islamic law, this is completely un-Islamic. But some people actually think that this is the right thing to do. And when you have that conviction, it is extremely difficult to shake it. And it's extremely difficult to convince people that what they're doing is the opposite of godly, that they are evil, which is why this man is being rewarded by an emir. A lot of people have this warped thinking, so a lot of education needs to be done. That's what I'll say about that, to prevent full-blown terror. People need to actually understand the faith that they follow. Many people simply don't. So that's why you have terrorist sympathizers, not just in the person of this emir who is turbaning this man, celebrating him. The entire terrorist ecosystem contains people who do sympathize,
yes,
who also feel that they are serving God in this way, that this is a righteous war being waged on innocent Nigerians. A lot of people, and we have to face that fact. There are also those who have been sort of indoctrinated by the oppressors, and they have Stockholm syndrome, based on that famous case in the 70s, where you do start to feel sympathy for people who have oppressed you and kidnapped you. The mind breaks down at a certain point with all the trauma. Some of those being flogged in that video could degenerate to the point where they start to feel sympathy for their captors. What is happening to these people is awful, which is why the longer this war against terror continues, the bigger of a problem that we're going to have. A lot of people are being convinced to this cause, and that's just a fact of the matter. It does also say, with regards to the turbaning of the alleged terrorists, that the governor has said that no traditional chief can offer chieftaincy titles without state government approval. And it's such a sad day in our lives in this country, because our traditional chiefs are supposed to be custodians of our customs, of our history, and they have to be infantilized in this way because this person has done something so disgraceful, quite frankly, to celebrate such a man, yes, and turban him. Other people who hold chieftaincy titles from this emir would do well to just reject them at this point. Absolutely. It's completely ruined it.
Dr. Abati.
Okay, let me take the subjects one after the other. Yes, it's true. We commented on the first part of the terrorists, subjecting their victims, the kidnapped persons, to torture. Now, they even went further, and this speaks to the reign of impunity in Nigeria and the reign of anarchy, and now chaos is enveloping different parts of the country. They went ahead to say that, look, if care is not taken, they will abduct the president of Nigeria,
yes,
and also abduct the governor of Kaduna State, including senators and political leaders, whoever they can lay their hands upon. Look at that level of audacity, of impunity, to even suggest that they could abduct the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, the head of state of Nigeria, the head of government of Nigeria, which means that if the governors are not safe, if senators are not safe, if the president himself can be threatened in such manner, whether they are able to carry out their threat or not, then it means nobody is safe. So we are all at risk in this environment. And as I said earlier, government has not been able to live up to its responsibility, its constitutional duty of securing our lives and ensuring welfare. Nobody deserves to be subjected to that level of indignity and torture. Now, the federal government responded through Garuba Shehu. Garuba Shehu is talking about terror propaganda and how the military has done so much to protect Nigerians. And as I said earlier, he was saying, well, the media has a responsibility, that this is not something that government can do alone, that the media has a responsibility to make sure that terrorists do not use social media or the internet to frighten people, and that the use of violence anyway, is standard tactic by terrorists. Well, I wish it were Garuba Shehu that was receiving those lashes of the cane.
They were horrible.
Because I don't know whether he was justifying
I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah, because looking at it, you'll be feeling the pain vicariously. But he says, so that is the strategy of terrorists. What does that mean? Nobody should be subjected to that. And then he says the president has done more than what is required of him.
That was so unnecessary.
Morally, in terms of providing arms and ammunition, that's a sad thing to say.
Yeah.
The president is there to protect all of us as our commander-in-chief. Yes, he may have made some attempts, but Nigerians are saying what he has done is not enough.
Clearly.
And that the government has abandoned people in distress. That's why that person who spoke was appealing to the international community and the African Union. As for the second leg of it, which is Aleru being given a chieftaincy title by the emir of Yandoto, Masari, calling him the Sarkin Fulani. And the man, in the interview that he granted the BBC Hausa Service, said that in fact, when they offered him the chieftaincy title, that he said no, it was not the right thing to do, that he was not interested, but that he consulted his father, and his father said, well, if they want to give you the title, you can take it. Now, immediately, the governor of the state, Bello Matawale, suspended the emir of Yandoto in Cotton Safe local government area, and also decreed that henceforth traditional rulers must not give chieftaincy titles to just anybody. But well, is Governor Matawale surprised? Should anybody be surprised? When even the federal government of Nigeria has a similar policy of appeasement, they call it rehabilitation, reconciliation.
Absolutely.
Sowing ashwebi for terrorists, giving them pepper soup and jollof rice at the expense of Nigerians. The people who should be tried, taken to the court of law, and punished for their criminal enterprise. So, of course, traditional rulers are beginning to emulate the federal government of Nigeria. Don't be surprised. We will wake up one day, they will have given a terrorist, they will say he's repentant, national honors, until people will start carrying placards that you cannot give a known terrorist on whose head there is a bounty from the police, in a country of generally decent people who are being punished by criminals. And then, of course, Governor Masari has spoken up to say that this Aleru is a wanted man in Katsina State, where he is responsible for a lot of atrocities. Of course, he will deny it. He has denied it. I hope that the Emirate of Yandoto will go ahead and withdraw that chieftaincy title, because it is offensive, it is insensitive.
Unacceptable. Well said, Dr. Abati. We'll take another story. The former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amaechi, in his first public address after losing the presidential ticket of the All Progressives Congress to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, said that delegates who sold their votes at the APC presidential primary are now regretting their actions. He was speaking at an event over the weekend in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. The former minister urged Nigerians to pray for the right person to lead the country, and also spoke on recent concerns raised over the identity of the clerics that attended the unveiling of Kashim Shettima as the APC vice presidential candidate. Let's take a quick listen to what he had to say before we come back for a discussion.
Those who voted at the APC primary, who are they? The ordinary Nigerians. The small money they got solved their immediate problem. Now, maybe a mistake, or didn't make a mistake. If you're hearing differently, if Nigerians' problem is to be solved, the ordinary Nigerians must be at the forefront. So if you are praying for us, pray, like the Catholics will say, pray for the leadership of the country. But also pray that the ordinary Nigerians should choose the right president.
Well, in another development, the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, came under fire on social media for saying every right-thinking Nigerian will vote for the All Progressives Congress in the 2023 general election. The minister was speaking during a live interview when he was asked about Nigerians' perception of the APC. Fashola said the party will be re-elected based on what he has done for Nigerians compared to previous governments. He also said that no previous Nigerian government has faced a COVID-19 crisis and global scarcity of resources caused by a war. Well, let's take a tweet from Chris, who wrote, "Who is a right thinker among us, Mr. Fashola? Sir, APC and Nigerian youth. God is out this time, and the period of romance is over. A few days ago in Abuja, I met one Nigerian senator's son. The testimony he shared with us will cause tears to run down your chins, my dear good fellas." I mean, this is the testimony we just talked about, actually, with the turbanning and the terrorists flogging our Nigerians. Well, this man came under fire because obviously Nigerians are saying the APC government has failed. Really quickly, Tundu.
I usually have a lot of patience and give a lot of room for politicians when they're doing their political speech. And it's just to be expected because he's an APC member, he sits in this cabinet. But not with the stories that we have touched in this segment of the show just now. Right now, it's offensive to hear that statement.
Really? Well.
Okay, let me comment on Minister Amaechi saying that, delegates who collected the money, who sold their votes at the primaries, are part of the problem. And that the ordinary Nigerian is a problem with Nigeria. And that ordinary Nigerians should choose the right leader. Yeah. Yes, voting wisely is important. Condemning vote buying is important. People selling their votes, that is not acceptable. He's right on all those fronts. But if you put it on the balance, where does the guilt lie more? Is it with the ordinary Nigerians?
That's the question.
Or with the political leadership, the elite in Nigeria? Ordinary Nigerians, they've suffered more than enough. They continue to suffer. Poverty, joblessness, crisis, all kinds of afflictions. So while former Minister Amaechi is saying ordinary Nigerians have to act right and vote wisely, you should know also that whatever circumstances in which ordinary Nigerians have found themselves that compel them to sell their votes or behave badly, it is because of the bad conduct of the political elite in Nigeria and the bad leadership that has pushed the people, the ordinary Nigerians that he talks about, into a bind of cynicism and distrust and alienation.
Very well said, both of you. Thank you all for your great analysis. I'll see you all tomorrow, right? Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending. I'll see you tomorrow.